Hi, I'm Molly. I am back with you. This is, I think, technically my first video of working smarter, not harder for moms. And like I said in the intro, I'm literally just coming to you. I'm reading what I typed. For those of you that like to listen to audio things, I have it. I'm just doing this that way. And for those of you that like to read things, it's on a blog. I think that there's a link down below. I think I know what that means. So, anyways, this one is called Bubblewrap is Not for People. So it's a challenging world these days. When I raised my kids, I didn't have social media. It wasn't telling me that, everywhere I look, that my house wasn't lovely enough, or that I was saying was I asking, having me ask the question, was I dressed in the most up-to-date styles, or if I was the best kind of mom who coordinated professional photos for my family in matching clothes every quarter. It's a thing, I guess. But I still doubted. I doubted I was enough. I doubted I was a good mom. I doubted my ability to teach them what they needed to know for life. I doubted I had enough patience. I doubted I was beautiful enough. Recently, I was around a mom and her kiddos, and we were exploring in their backyard, and the kids found a toad, and they're screaming with excitement. We joined them, and the mom proceeded to fret over getting dirty, over the toad pooping on the kids, or them squishing the toad, and her stress was palpable. She was near frantic. Helicopter parenting really isn't a new thing. We just put a name to it. When my kids were little, they would play in the woods for hours, and if someone got hurt, they would all come running, and we would handle it, right? We would deal with it. Today, moms seem to be so concerned about protecting their kids so they don't get hurt physically or emotionally, and yet this world they're being raised in is tough on them physically and emotionally. I love this quote from Graham Cook. I have just gleaned so much wisdom from Graham Cook. And he said, you're not being challenged by the world. You're not being challenged by the flesh. You're not being challenged by the enemy. You're being challenged by God's goodness. And what that means to me is that I'm just getting off script here, is that what that means to me is that God puts things in our way so that we can go, wait a minute, we can have wise eyes to address the situation, not pretend it's not there, not ignore it, not just anesthetize and forget that it's there, but really embrace it and say, God, how do you want me to deal with this? And I'll get into that in a minute, but this idea of just, we think that when bad things or when challenging things or when, like, let's say we get in a fight with our spouse, right? We get in a fight with our husband and we go, well, of course we all know it's his fault. That's why we're in this fight. And yet, what God's saying there is he's saying, you're being challenged by my goodness. Like, ask me about that. Let's talk about what your part is in that, because you're only really responsible for one person. And so when you ask those questions and you interact with God and your kids even see that, you experience real life. You experience, you handle situations in different ways. And instead of ignoring them or blaming other people for them or whatever the case is, you actually, you learn from them. And it's really cool. So, okay, going back on script. Grace, right? So the very thing we try to protect ourselves and our kids from is the very thing that bring us breakthrough, healing, and healthy relationships. Obviously, I'm not saying we should let our kids play near a busy street or knowingly put them in harm's way. But bubble wrapping them is not an answer. Let them play. Let them interact with people that may be unkind. Let them get their hands dirty. Being okay with them skinning their knee is just part of life. Plus, it's a great opportunity for you to talk to them about stuff, helping them process it in their sweet little minds so they can learn to cope in healthy ways, learning that mom is a safe place with whom they can talk about anything. Those are the sweet spots of mothering. The same is true for you, though, also, Mama. If you find yourself getting angry at certain situations, ask Jesus what he thinks about it. Ask him why this stirs up feelings of anger, frustration in you. Ask him what he wants to be for you in that situation. The answer might not come at that moment. Often I get answers while I'm driving. Without music playing, it gives him space to speak, because I have space to listen. Quieting the world is the quickest road to healing. If you judge yourself according to the world of media, you will be disappointed. And I think we all know that. If you judge yourself according to the Father, who has ridiculous love for you, who quiets you with his love, who rejoices over you with singing, who delights in you, who thinks you are the very best, you will be filled with joy. It'll take time. Learning new things always do. Working smarter, not harder, looks like stopping, taking a breath, remembering you're loved, and so are your kiddos. Stop comparing living frantic, harried, keeping up with the Joneses life. You were made for much more than that. Imagine the effect that this in you will have on your children. It's not about putting them in a bubble so they never have to experience tough things. It's about giving them the tools to deal with tough things when they come. I love this quote. I use it. It really gets me thinking a lot. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. But the next best time is today. In a week, a month, a year, you won't believe how you've grown, how your mindset's changed, perhaps how much healthier, even restful your days are. I'm here on this journey with you, cheering you on. Thank you. Have a great day.